Hey y'all, it is Cassie Bollinger. It's working Wednesday, guys. Thank you so much for showing up tonight. I'm going to go over the things that I am actually doing in my business. Now, some of you have known, if you're still in our group chat or on our team page, I have had some vertigo. And it boils down to that you have a hangover all the time. Your world seems to swirl around you every time that you get up or move too fast. Um, 2 weeks ago on Thursday night shift, they had talked about different ideas of reaching out and getting new customers or maybe a new area of I guess of customers. They had brought up the part about realtor bundles. And what I had done is I had just posted on my Facebook page of like title companies, realtors, broker companies asking about pop buys. So pop buys are kind of like a little drop off that realtors will do either monthly or quarterly. Sometimes it's only during the holidays. They're small, cheap items. Some of the broker or title companies or one of the link in the long line of realtors will do kind of a come and create something. So they do like a class and have everybody come and they make their own. So they'll supply it. It may cost them like 20, 30 bucks. They will do a class. They will show them how to do it. And then they get to leave with their products to give out to their customers. Um, when I had posted on my Facebook page, there was quite a few people that had hopped on there and tagged other people. I was able to talk to each one of them. Now, 2 weeks ago was right before I started with the whole bout of vertigo. So I had tried to come up with a proposal and trying to come up with something to be able to share with them to explain kind of what I can do for them, along with what I'm wanting to do for them. And so I had tried to create, and I seriously spent probably 3 hours in my office, and I was banging my head against the wall. And you guys know, I tell you guys all the time, whenever you spend more than 15, 20 minutes on anything and you're not moving forward, for you to stop. The reason why is because the more frustrated you get, the more upset you'll get. And then because you're upset, you'll get more frustrated. And the cycle continues until it grows and it comes out of control. My husband had even come in here and was like, "You told me I'm supposed to take a break. You need to take a break when you're this frustrated." And I was like, "No, I can do it." And then I was like, "I can't do it." And he looked and turned to me and said, "I've never heard you say I can't." It was a very hard moment because I wanted so much to have this work and I wanted to I knew I could see it in my head of kind of what a proposal is, but guys, I don't know what a proposal is. Like, I've never had to do a proposal for anything. I've never had to submit it for a company or for my job. So I honestly didn't know what the idea would be that I need to put on paper. I struggled with it. It seriously got to the point where I was like, I'm just done. I can't do this. I can't do any of this. Like, I'm done with this whole thing. Um, I'm just going to give up. And guys, I don't give up. I don't stop. I don't ever say I can't. I figure out a way to do it. Um, so I just figured out, I was just like, I'm done with it. I'm not going to worry about it. Well, my sister-in-law and I had talked, and she is a real estate agent, and there was going to be a broker sip and sniff. And it was going to be today between like 10 and 2. And I wasn't bringing and setting up like a table. I wasn't going to be selling my items. I was going to be basically showing them the listing and closing gifts that they can give to their customers, along with also doing a raffle for a warmer. Well, today did not work the way it wanted to because I had a really bad bout of vertigo this morning, and I've actually been in bed almost all day. I did get up this morning. I took a shower. I even started to put makeup on. I kind of got the base of it done, and then it was getting too much. It's really hard to explain what vertigo does to you. Not only do you feel like you're in this really like day on end hangover. It also comes the nausea because you're dizzy. So I had started working on like Monday, trying to get some stuff done. I had some ideas. And at that point, because I wasn't mobile, I wasn't out of the bed on Monday, I was writing everything down in my notebook. So I sat there on Monday and then on Tuesday, because of course this was going to be on Wednesday. So I sat there, and any free moment I had, I was writing down the ideas, what I wanted to show at this sip and sniff. And I made sure that I was being very specific. Now, of course, if anybody who knows me knows that I don't just do bare minimum, I do over the top, extravagant. I overthink everything. And my husband tells me over and over and over, you're overthinking it, make it simple. And that's why we are an amazing partnership, because he does remind me that it doesn't have to be this elaborate thing. It is just supposed to be simple. Scentsy is simple if you let it. There are small steps to do things. There are small ways to get things done. So Monday and Tuesday, I sat down and I was like, if I had a real estate agent right now telling me that she needed bundles, what would I even offer? I went through basically my website. I went through the bundle and saves. I went through a couple different things. And then I had to do the test. And the test was taking and opening a party, going in and putting in different bundles, creating the bundles, seeing how many would work, the combination of bundles, because sometimes on some of our free and half price, you can't use the like perfect Scentsy or some of the larger ones. So if I did a large bundle, how would I be able to incorporate that with the free and half price? Also using the perpetual. I wanted to make sure I used everything for the least amount of money, because I can put a whole bunch of stuff in there and be like, yeah, it's a $2,000 order. But that wasn't going to be beneficial for me starting out. I needed to show them what the value was. So I wrote down quite a few different bundles. I wrote down the breakdown. I had kind of like a scratch piece of paper, and I just went through, it's in there somewhere. I just went through and I was like, what would I offer? Okay, so I'm going to offer like the $30 warmer bundle. Now, the perfect Scentsy $30 bundle is two $30 warmers and 6 bars of wax. So that's the perfect Scentsy system for the $30 bundles. And I was like, okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see how many I can put in to make it a party at 200. Then I was going to go through and use the free and half price and the perpetual and see how many combinations I could make. So I created that. I basically just created the party to get the full amount. And that's with shipping, because again, guys, we don't want to give away our money. We want to make sure that we are utilizing Scentsy and like telling everybody that there is shipping costs. There is, you know, the only way to avoid the shipping costs is getting a 500 plus order all at one time submitted. Doesn't matter if it's online on the website or if it's on a party list, but it has to be submitted. I said it's 350. I'm sorry, it's 350. The 500 is what it used to be. $350 submitted all at once to get the free shipping. At 500, you kind of like, you get the most rewards. And plus that gives you guys a free kit. That's why I always stop at 500. That's a whole different other training. So I manipulated the 200 of just creating a small party. Then I did it up to 500 to kind of show them the difference of the more that you get, the more discounts you get. So basically different bundles. So of course it was a warmer, 3 wax for each set of clients. So that means if they listed a house, they could give them a gift. And if they sold the house, they could give them a gift. It just depended on what they were thinking about. Now, creating this proposal was really hard for me to figure out, because like I've never done a proposal. So how do you create a proposal or create something that you've never done? Well, for me, I Googled it. Well, that didn't help much, but my lovely Canva came and saved me. So yesterday, after I had already gotten everything written down of what I wanted to make the proposal for. So again, I did different items. I broke them down into parties, then did the average of how much it would be per set, total with tax and shipping for the $200 parties and a $500 party. Then what I did is that I had to sit down at my camera. Now I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so I can kind of show you how I came up with this. All right. I'm hoping that you are seeing my screen. Okay. So I went in and basically I seriously searched posters and I put realtor. And there was templates. There was always little templates. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like this just listed. And so what I did is I incorporated what they use to sell their houses as I created my proposal. I went through and let me get back to my home. And this is what I created. Let me see if I can, it's going to take just a minute because I am recording. It takes a little bit longer. Okay. So this is what the first page looked like. Okay. So I took their template for the realtors and I basically just said exactly what I wanted to tell them. Listing and closing gifts, pop buys. Okay. This goes through, I just got these images off of our website. I made sure to put them in the background, got a basket because I haven't created one myself, so I couldn't actually show them a basket I've done. And I don't ever show packages or bundles or any gifts that I know I can't do. Like there are some very elaborate ones that have the great big bows and they are so gorgeous. I would love to say, yes, I can do that. I'm not quite there. I can do the multi-level bows. There was a training last year for that. So I decided I'm just going to do a basket. I'm just going to kind of show them some of the items. I just threw a couple in here. That's a laundry. This is just, I think it's bathroom cleaner and a warmer. And I put the other warmer down here because this was supposed to be something I was going to display while I was at the sip and sniff. Now, it wasn't going to be something I was going to mass print out and hand anybody. It was literally just going to be sitting in the area that they were going to allow me to sit. Because again, I wasn't supposed to bring a table. And I wasn't supposed to bring any, like a lot of products to sell. I was just going to be there to talk to everyone about listing and closing gifts. So this is how their thing was set up. This originally was like a house and you can kind of see this was the original one. I don't want to click on it because I'm afraid it'll take over this. But it was a house. It had the information of what was the house, like the selling price, what bedrooms, how many bathrooms. And I just changed everything to my colors. I changed everything with my pictures and the information. So listing and closing gifts, cleaning bundle, warmer and wax, pet goodies, stock up for better pricing on current and future clients. So stock up. That way, if they know they're going to be doing pop buys or they know they're going to have different closings of houses, if they can go ahead and stock up now. Pop buys, flash sales, or bundles are ways to get great pricing to let your clients know that you love their business and referrals. So their pop buys are like our little thank you gifts, but they send them out during the holidays. And the reason why is because like people may buy Scentsy from us every couple of months, but on a house, people may not buy a house for a couple of years, like 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. So as long as they're keeping their past customers happy, those past customers are going to refer them to new customers. So that's why the pop buys are kind of like their thank yous, their in between order thank yous of letting them know that they're still there. So I did pull some pictures. Now I have done these little bags before. I know where to find them. I know how to find this ribbon. Here, I'll even blow this up a little bit so you guys can see. So I tried to make sure that no matter what I posted on here, I was going to be able to duplicate it. And these bags, and this is just the confetti. This is the like holographic confetti, which I know where that's at. These are little stickers that I could find, bags, and this ribbon. Up here, I look. So the only thing that is not Scentsy in this is this little coffee cup. They are at the dollar store. They are at Walmart. They are basically like, some of them are plastic. Some of them are actually the disposable cups that have the plastic lid. You can buy them in a set. They're normally like $2 at the dollar store for like 4. And they may be a little bit more expensive at the grocery store or Walmart. But these were just little buckets. I mean, again, anything that I showed on here, I had to make sure that I personally could duplicate it. So if you guys want this Canva and you want this, that's fine, but make sure that you were able to do the different bundles on here that you promise, because you don't want to promise something to one of your customers and not be able to follow through. Here was the first one that I broke down. This was the mini warmer. Mini warmer, 3 bars of wax. Now, all I showed them was the Scentsy system. I didn't show them the perfect Scentsy. I did the Scentsy system. So it showed them that if they were buying 1 mini warmer and 3 bars of wax, it was $40. Now, I could have went ahead and broke that down even to a mini warmer and 3 individual bars of wax and showed them how much they were actually saving. But I didn't. I just went ahead and put the bundle and save. And then that's how I broke this down. So let me zoom out so you guys can see this. All right, these listing and closing gifts. So this was a breakdown for 9 sets, and it was $34.86 per client. Now that includes the tax and the shipping. So you see that there is $33.91 in tax and shipping. So I wanted them to know that this was a full amount, like that. That's what they would pay, $313.71. If we ordered it today, that's how much it would cost for it to get to me, so I could break down these little bundles. Now, if they are very crafty and they're very creative and they can do all this stuff, then you don't have to do it. And it can all be shipped to them, and you can give them the price breakdown. I sat down, like I said, I went through. Now, this is actually multiple sheets, because as you can see, the PRV is not listed here, guys. I cut it out. I basically did 3 of the party summaries. I took screenshots of them, cut out what I didn't want, because normally under the party shipping, it has the host name. So I had my name. I didn't want the PRV to confuse them, and I didn't want my name all over it, confusing them either, of being like, well, why is it your name? You know, it was questions that I didn't want to have to explain, because they're not going to see this unless they become a consultant. So I wanted to make sure that this was self-explanatory for anybody, anywhere. Again, so this is the breakdown. Now, your best bet is I can tell you what this breakdown is, but I'd love for you to do a combination of doing the Scentsy, the perfect Scentsy system, along with the Scentsy system with the $30 or the mini warmer, I'm sorry, the $25 mini warmer, and see if you can break this down to this. And the reason why I say that is because it took me a little bit of time to make sure I could do 9 full sets. So you try it. Let me know what you guys figured out. Okay, coming down here. And don't forget, I utilize all half price, free credit, and the perpetual. So that's a little hint. So here's the next one. Now this was over $500. Now it says over 600, but the PRV was 500. Okay, so the breakdown was getting exactly, it was like 5 something before I did the half price and the free credit. So that's why the amount is a little bit more, along with it did get free shipping and the tax. There was just no way to avoid doing the huge breakdown of less than the $649.82. Now, if you can figure out how to get more than 20 sets of a mini warmer and 3 bars of wax for less than $32.49, you need to let me know. But it was free shipping, and that's the whole reason I showed this, and how much the tax was, and that way they knew how much the breakdown was. So it was normally at $40. They're only paying $32.49 if they got 20 sets. Before they're paying $34.86. So it's not much of a difference, but you have to see how many more you're getting. When you multiply this times 2, so if they did it one time, it's only $313, and the next time it was $313. You got more, because that means it's only 18. You got 20. So that's the way that I logically created in my mind, is that if they tried to do it 2 different ones, they're still not getting as many as I have right here in what they're getting with the smaller bundle. The next is this is the breakdown for the $30. This is showing I just picked one of the warmers. Again, I just went in and selected the same thing. So I didn't go in and select all different waxes. I just selected the same wax for every single one and the warmers. And I used the alabaster as examples because the alabaster is a very classic. I want to say basic, but it's not. It's very elegant when you actually get the warmer. So I wanted to use something that anybody could use. Anybody could be able to use this in their house. So if their realtor is purchasing these warmers for them, they have something that anybody would be able to use as a thank you. That's why, again, I always try to use one that is very classic, very basic. Along with it, all they have to do is that they want to change the colors. There's colored light bulbs. And that's something to also talk about, the add-ons of what you can do when you start having this conversation with any of the real estate, any of your realtors or real estate. I'm losing some of my words, so I'm going to keep moving. The next one is a breakdown for the classic clean. So the $25 classic clean, it goes through the dish soap, it goes through counter clean, and it also goes through the bathroom cleaner. Again, I broke this down. The subtotal was $230. Again, that is with the free and half price items. Party shipping is $10. So that was $29.80 for the tax, and it ended up being $23.62 per client. If they decide to break each of those individual items down, like they gave a dish soap to someone, a counter clean, and a bathroom cleaner to 3 separate clients, technically it would be 33 sets, and it was $7.87. So it's still cheaper to do this big bundle to have different options than just doing all dish soap or all counter clean or all bathroom cleaner. So when I gave them this option here, I also down here gave them an option of just, because the dish soap, I always have that in between of some of my customers do not like the dish soap. And so this way, this was done just the bathroom cleaner and the counter clean. And these were done in the 3 bundles of bathroom and 3 bundles of the counter clean. With a combination of 16 sets, 32 sets breakdown. So that means you would have 16 of the bathroom cleaner and 16 of the counter clean. Again, these I did not go into the 500s. I just did the mini one just to kind of show an example. I didn't want to do every single option that we had, because if I give them every option, then there's no questions for them to ask. And there's no kind of back and forth to trying to get some explanations. Again, I was trying to make sure to do this in a way that it was more simple. That's why I didn't break down how I did it in the party, because they don't need to know how it's done in the party, not unless they're going to become a consultant. Pop buys. I took these screenshots directly out of my workstation in my history of what I got at the flash sale. I got 6 of these at 90 cents. Okay. This shows them that if they wanted to get 50 of them or 100 of them, they would have only had to pay 90 cents. Same thing for these. These were 50% off. They were normally $8. They were $6 or $4 here. These were originally, that may be 18. It was $1.80. So that was a huge jump on the amount. So I got 6 of those. These were $1.20. So it kind of just gives them an example of an actual order that was placed. Now I did 6 of everything. And the reason why is because I was looking at 6 like bundles, 6 different bundles. I was going to do different things with them. I still have ideas of what I'm going to be doing with those the rest of November and December, especially for any of the Christmas stuff, which is everything except for these. But guys, I got these from the flash sale for next year. So next year in September, I can start pushing some bundles for the Halloween, and these will be great little additions that I only spent $1.80 or $1.20 for. Then, of course, my last page was, what is your budget? Like, what's your budget? Because maybe they don't have the $300 to spend, but they want to spend about $30 per person. Let me go ahead and do the stop screen share. They want to do $30 per person. So what does that mean? Like, what is the $30? What items are they going to do for $30? Well, you can come up with different bundles. The bundle and saves are going to be best friends. Oh, sorry. I thought I heard something. The bundle and saves are going to be your best friends. Those are going to be the ways for you to save money to your customers. And especially if they're buying in large bulk, there are different ways to put in different bundles. Like I said, so the perfect Scentsy system is 2 warmers at the same price with 6 bars of wax. It's cheaper than just doing the 1 warmer with 3 waxes. Definitely cheaper than doing the warmer by itself, the 3 bundle wax, or the 3 waxes by themselves. So you have to look at what they're wanting to get. Now, we have the laundry bundle. It's $50. It's 4 different items. That's the best way to save if you're wanting to do those individually. You have the moisture melody. So you can add multiples of those, and because they're bundled, then you can put them in your free and half price. You can put them in for the perpetual, and you can get at least 3 of them discounted, and then you average out the total cost for everybody else. Again, whenever I spent the time and I talked to my sister-in-law and I sent that over, but again, today's I was not able to go. The vertigo was really bad. But the main thing I wanted to talk to you guys tonight is that if you're doing a lot of training, make sure that you do take a moment out to stop training and actually do some of the things that you learn. The Thursday night shift for me is a way for me to fill my cup on my training. When on Wednesday nights, I train you guys. On Thursday nights, I get trained. And then occasionally I will watch other videos if there's something I'm trying to work on, or maybe I found something on Thursday night shift and I need to look into it more of maybe either a different way to do it or a tweaking way to do it. You need to remember that if you're just learning, the only way for you to get better at stuff is doing. If you don't implement what you're learning, then you're just learning for knowledge, but it's not going to go anywhere. Again, when I put that message out 2 weeks ago about the realtors, the title companies, the brokers, basically anybody in that industry for real estate, I got a lot of people tagged. I was going to get it done that weekend and it didn't work out because, again, I got overly frustrated because I didn't know how to make a proposal. But when I finished this all last night and I wasn't able to go today, I messaged every single person back today, this morning. And I asked them if they would look over my proposal and ask and kind of like, and I need some feedback so I can get some ideas or I can tweak it whichever way. Guess what? I had 3 people ask if they could take that and print them off and hand them out at their office. Now, have I gotten any sales from it today? No. But that's 3 people that I can follow up with for something that I've never done before. I got overly frustrated, cried, like I was so angry at myself because I couldn't figure out how to do a proposal. It's just not in my wheelhouse. It's just something I've never done. But now I have. So every time that I learn a new skill now, I actually have been putting it on my resume. I am still like updating that as I go through because every single skill that you learn for Scentsy can actually be used and utilized in outside life. If you're still working full-time and doing Scentsy part-time, you can still access and go and utilize the different apps, learn creative outlets like the Canva. Canva is really huge, guys. It wasn't a couple of years ago, but ever since COVID, it has become huge. It's basically kind of, for me, has taken over the place of publisher. I don't know if you know anything about the Office suites, but this has kind of replaced publisher because I think it's more user-friendly and it's cheaper because there is a free version that you can use and you don't have to have, like I do have a subscription, but I'm about to go to the yearly because it's only $49 for life instead of the $12.99 I think I play every single month. So that's something that I'm going to be taking advantage of because it's beneficial for my business. I pay $149 fee and I have a lifetime membership. So I'll never have to worry about paying for it again. The last thing I just wanted to cover tonight is just making sure that there are things in this business with Scentsy that if you want, you will do. Normally on Work at Wednesdays, before I was sending out text messages to everybody, I was sending out different posts on all different things. Tonight I did post it in there, but I didn't post it early. I posted it about a minute till, because I realized that the people that show up and the ones that want to have training show up. I don't have to remind them. I don't have to be like, hey, come get some training, fill your brain, fill your cup. I don't have to tell them that. Scentsy allows you to work at your own pace. You make the amount of money that you want to make. So if you decide that I'm not doing anything today, I'm not doing anything tomorrow, I'm not doing anything for a week, there's no one to say, hello, you're not doing your job. Hello, do you want to work today? No one's going to ask you. Why? Because we are our own bosses. We are independent Scentsy consultants. Your business is yours. Now, we do have regulations, and these are not just Scentsy regulations. These are also FCC regulations. That's the reason why you can't do the pay to play, and you can't do certain like videos or talk about having inventory or stock, because that is a regulation the FCC has put on direct sales, because we are a part of the Direct Sales Association. So on your trainings, on your times that you want to learn something, if you want to do something with your business, then you will do it. If you want it and you want it enough, you will do anything that you need to do. If you were told tomorrow that you could make a $600 paycheck and you had to do steps 1, 2, and 3, would you do that step 1, 2, and 3? If you knew that you could get X amount of money, no matter what, doing steps 1, 2, and 3, would you do it? Now, say that you're like, well, 600 isn't enough. Well, are you even getting 600? We talk about always wanting, like, I know in the beginning, I wanted that $10,000 paycheck. Like, that is my ultimate goal. I have broken it down and figured out what I need to do. I can try and do it myself. I can try. I know what physically I'd have to do. I also know that I physically wouldn't be able to do a $10,000 paycheck by myself. With a team, building a team, recruiting people, talking to people and offering the blessing. Anybody here that's on my front line was talked to about the blessing of this business. It was, have you ever considered making extra money with Scentsy? Has it even crossed your mind? Is it something you'd want to do? Now, guys, I get told no so much. I get told no all the time. But I also get yeses. And in the beginning, the no's outweighed the yeses. And then the yeses were starting to be about every other one from the no's. It's all about practicing and being comfortable with it. If someone walked up to you and said, you want to buy the pen? You want to buy the pen, don't you? Do you want to buy the pen? You would not know how to react, because you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even know what that is. And they're going to think that you're trying to sell them something that you aren't supposed to have. Okay. If you walk up and say that, hey, I got these Energel pens. They write amazing. Do you want to try it? Because the way that it writes on a piece of paper, it flows really well. And I'm all about some pens, because for me, when I write, it needs to have this flow. And I want to be able to write in my little frilly cursive and do all the embellishments to it. Now, that may make you want to buy the pen a little bit more. Well, it's because I've used it. I've used the pen. Anybody who's a writer or works in an office or uses pens on a daily basis will have a preference on their pens. Why? Because they have to use them every day. So if you were using your Scentsy every single day, do you think you would start learning more about Scentsy, more about your products, more about how they work, how they smell, how long it lasts, how to clean it up, what is the best places to use it in? If you're using your Scentsy and you're utilizing your own Scentsy for yourself, like you have your own supply of laundry, you have your own supply of wax, you have your own warmers that you turn on or turn off or leave them on 24 hours a day like I do. If you utilize using the air purifier, the diffuser, the Scentsy Go, the car bars, scent circles, the pet stuff, if you utilize those on a daily basis or weekly basis, do you think in a couple of weeks or a couple of months that you would probably know how to use them? With Scentsy, it's not about selling Scentsy. It's not like, hey guys, go out and sell 30 bundles today. You know, make sure that you get 30 sold today by the end of the day. It is not about that. Scentsy honestly is about sharing your experience. Your customers and your friends and your family will want to use items that you love. Guys, how many times do you scroll through Facebook or Instagram and someone's taking a picture of the food they just got at a restaurant? They're bragging about the food tastes amazing. Look how great it looks, because food is all about looking at it and it's beautiful, and then you eat it and it tastes amazing. They're bragging on their food that they just got, but you get a Scentsy bar that you absolutely love and you're afraid to take a picture of yourself smelling. You're afraid to take just a picture of it by itself and be like, oh my gosh, this is my new favorite scent. Like, when was the last time you took a picture of a Scentsy product by itself that wasn't a flyer, that wasn't created by someone else, that wasn't taken by someone else, and posted it on your public page? Posted on your business page or in your VIP. When was the last time you took a picture of anything Scentsy and talked about how it made you feel, how you used it, what your experience was? Scentsy is one of the best direct sales companies I've ever been in. I've been in quite a few other ones. I've had a little bit of previous experience, but I've never had this experience. And the reason why I say that is before, I had tactics on how to sell. I had tactics on how to get them involved and buy things. That was all tactics. Those are just selling tactics. You can basically walk up to any used car salesman and you can learn tactics of selling anything. You can utilize how to sell anything that way. But just like a used car salesman, if you sell them a lemon, they're going to be telling everybody how much it sucks and how much they hate it and how much you basically convince them to buy something that was worthless. If you talk about your experience and you talk about how the products have improved your life, or how they have made it easier, or how they have changed your mood, because, you know, our sensory, our memory is connected to our sensory. And when you smell something, it can bring back an amazing memory. Like, there's certain smells, especially during the winter and fall, that bring back just that Christmas feel, that going to grandma's for Christmas Day, or going over to family's house and opening presents because that was the smell, or being in a certain location because it was a smell of those oranges and spice and cranberries, and they were just warming it on the stove, and that was just that smell. That's Christmas cottage. Like, if you talked about your experience and you talked about how Scentsy made you feel, or how it helped you, or what you do with it, like even a how-to, guys, you can literally take any Scentsy and talk about opening up the bars, taking out the cubes, showing them how to break it open, showing them that now maybe some of y'all don't know this. Do you know that the most fragrant part of the bar is the butt, is the bottom part, where it pours first? So if you really want to know more about how a bar smells, you smell the butt. I know it's a horrible saying, but that is where you're going to get the smell from. So if you see some of the SSDs, and normally they don't even talk about it, but if you watch some of them opening boxes and they pull out the wax, doesn't matter if it's bricks or if it's bars, they pull out the wax, they flip it upside down, and they smell the butt. Because that's where it's going to be the strongest, because that's where everything poured, and when it melted, it settled. Now, if you opened up the bars and you were smelling them more often, and you would realize that, oh, it smells different on the top than the bottom. Or if you saw something and you actually utilized that, but now it's going to be something you know. So make sure that whenever you are talking to your customers or you're doing a live, make sure that you're showing them how you use it. That is content that you can give them, is showing them what to do. In the last month, or well, I guess about the last month and a half, I have been working on reels through Instagram and Facebook. In the beginning, I was trying to cram everything into that 90 seconds and get everything done and all these pictures and just cram it all in. Well, guys, that doesn't really entice them if you give them the whole story in the 90 seconds. Would you watch a movie that was 90 seconds long? By the time you got settled in and got your drink and got your popcorn, the movie would be over. So you entice them, kind of like a trailer, kind of like the mini trailers that are leading up to something bigger. Is I started doing a fragrance flower and coloring. I did a couple of videos actually showing the Sharpies. I did a little video of just kind of showing which colors I picked. And I've slowly, progressively taken pictures and videos of each kind of step I took. I'm only on part 2. I have part 3 that I still need to upload. But guys, I still have like 40 pictures left. You know how many reels I can make out of that? I can make a lot. Like, it's something I can work on and basically entice them on how to do the how to do the fragrance flowers, of decorating them, coloring them for their preference. So just think about it. And I hope tonight when you take away that you've at least had an aha. And the things that you learn, you need to try to implement into your business. If you're wanting the Canva link, it will be down in the bottom of the description on YouTube. So you can look down there and you can get the Canva. If you are needing it sooner than I upload it, then you need to message me. But just know that things that are created and things that you learn don't become a habit until you start to do them and you fail at them. Guys, you're going to fail. The one thing about it is that you are going to fail. At some point, you are going to not get something right. You're going to get frustrated. It's going to be harder to do. It's going to like be past your grasp of understanding because you haven't done it before. That wasn't even a possibility, because if it was a possibility, you may have tried it before. I've never done a proposal. And if you've done a proposal, then you know of a different way to do it than what I did. If you know how to utilize some of the products, the one thing I can't use is the pet products. So any of y'all that have pets and use the pet products on your pet, you are a step ahead of me because I don't have a pet. You can do something and show something in reels and videos and pictures that I can't. So when you learn something, whenever you find something new, you have your aha moment, make sure that you're taking the time to share it with your customers. Your customers want to know how to experience it. They want to know what you feel like because they may want to feel the same way. If you talk about how the smells will trigger great memories, that you could smell something. It's kind of like walking by a certain person. They have a certain perfume or a certain cologne that you're like, oh, hello. Like that reminds me of my grandmother. Or I remember someone in my class or my brothers had that cologne. You got to remember that smells trigger memories. And so for me, I love Christmas time. I love Christmas time. And I love the smells. And fall and winter is my favorite season because of all the greatness. Now, do I still utilize the spring and summer whenever it comes out? Yes. I do like the fresh bakery stuff. I like the fruity stuff. I like some of like the pina coladas. I like those smells. But fall and winter with the spice and the great, I'm not real big on pine, but my daughter put in Winter's Eve. And when she smelt it, she said, this smells like Blake when he gets out of the shower and he's getting ready in the morning. I didn't even, the first time I smelt it, that's not what I thought of, because I was just like, oh, it's a tree scent. I'm not going to like it. So thinking about that, I was like, really? And I took a really good sniff of that Winter's Eve. And it's right. The combination between his like deodorant and his cologne is the smell of Winter's Eve. So Amber went ahead and put it all over the house yesterday. It was great because I was like, I'm so used to how he smells that I don't think about how he smells. Like, It's not a thing. I just know that when he's about to leave and walk out the door and he kisses me, that's what he smells like. And it did. Once I even got that, you know, I guess that image of what it could smell like, I was like, wait, let me smell it again. And your customers are going to do the same thing, because maybe they absolutely hate candy canes or they absolutely hate mint. But the vanilla mint is not mint. It's not vanilla. It's like a combination. Or talking about the new release of the Scentspirations. The candy cane smell. Oh my gosh. I would like, when I heard about the candy cane and the gingerbread and putting it with the buttercream, I'm like, that, oh, horrible. And guys, when I warmed it, I fell in love with the candy cane. It was the one that sold out first. It sold out first. And it wasn't until I experienced it. And then I've talked about it. The people that have messaged me and filled out my job form, I messaged them and told them what it made me feel like when I smelled that. When I did the box opening, whenever I got the wax here, I talked about what it made me think about, the first reaction. And good or bad, guys, just tell them your gut reaction. If it's a smell that you don't like, you can explain to them why. Like, oh, okay, so, and I can't remember what smell it is, and maybe I'll get it from Blake and I'll put it on here later. There was a smell that came out a couple of years ago, and one of mine and my husband's best friends came over, and I was like, oh, you're gonna love this, guys, you're gonna love this. This is like a really manly smell. And they smelt it, and they both looked at me and were like, hell no. And I was like, why? Because it smells like the urinal cake. Well, guys, as a woman, I don't know really what a urinal cake smells like. I wouldn't have that smell in my memory, or even like it wouldn't fathom me, because I'm not around urinal cakes. But the guys literally looked at me like I had just, I guess that I just didn't know what I was talking about, because they're like, no one's going to buy this. And I'm like, I love it. I bought like 4 bars. And they're like, And I honestly can't remember what smell that was. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and end up this Work It Wednesday tonight. I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much for showing up, for taking your time out on this Wednesday. I hope you found a great aha moment. I hope that you implement something. You guys know that I love you all. If you have any questions.
I have a question.
Oh, hold on just a moment. Let me finish this and I will shut down the recording. Hold on just a moment. So I'm going to finish the recording. This will be uploaded into YouTube. I will be here every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. I can't wait to see you guys. I love you all.